I'm Patrick Lancaster. Are we being lied to again to bring the United States into another baseless war, just like we were in 2003 in Iraq, when I myself was in the Persian Gulf, not far from what's happening right now, when I was forced to take part in a war that resulted in over 1 million people killed under facts that were not true about weapons of mass destruction, when I myself, along with everyone else on my ship and my fleet, was basically experimented on with anthrax vaccines, with the backing of lies of weapons of mass destruction. Now, are we having another time where the U.S. government is lying to the people and the world about weapons of mass destruction? Well, the U.S. government isn't saying that Iran has weapons of mass destruction or nuclear weapons or is even close. Well, at least not all of the United States government. The intelligence community says that Iran is years away from making nuclear weapons. The International Atomic Energy Association says that Iran is years away from making a nuclear weapon. In March of just this year, Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence in the USA, made a statement saying the intelligence community continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program he suspended in 2003.
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003. The IC continues to monitor closely if Tehran decides to reauthorize its nuclear weapons program.
And when Trump was confronted with this information at the Director of National Intelligence of the United States, someone he should be listening to, said that Iran is not close to having a nuclear weapon. He said he didn't care what she had to say and that Iran was close to having a nuclear weapon.
Mr. President, you've always said that you don't believe Iran should be able to have a nuclear weapon, but how close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having it.
So one should ask, what information is he basing his intelligence on if he's not listening to the Director of National Intelligence? Maybe the same information that George Bush was basing his intelligence on when he said that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction in 2003 and brought the U.S. into a war killing over 1 million people. And the chief of the International Atomic Energy Association, whose job it is to monitor these things, also says there's no evidence of Iran having an effort to make nuclear weapons. And he said this clear as day in an interview. Here, listen to the whole thing.
I mean, there is this competition about who is wrong or right about the time that would be needed. Certainly, it was not for tomorrow, maybe not a matter of years. I would there be perhaps more serious about this, and I don't think it was a matter of years. But this is speculation. Why? I go again to the beginning of my comment. These things we don't know, because if there was some activity which was clandestine or hidden or away from our inspectors, we couldn't know. What we informed and what we reported was that we did not have, as in coincidence with some of the sources you mentioned there, that we did not have any proof of a systematic effort to move into a nuclear weapon.
And here we can see a little bit of something that CNN put together on the Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, where he's been saying for almost 3 decades, 29 years, that Iran is really close to a nuclear weapon. It's an urgent threat. But the thing is, he's been saying the same thing every year since 1996. Is that what Trump is basing his information on? Watch it yourself.
The deadline for attaining this goal is getting extremely close. And Iran, by the way, is also outpacing Iraq in the development of ballistic missile systems that they hope will reach the eastern seaboard of the United States within 15 years. By next spring, at most, by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment and move on to the final stage. From there, it's only a few months, possibly a few weeks, before they get enough enriched uranium for the first bomb. The foremost sponsor of global terrorism could be weeks away from having enough enriched uranium for an entire arsenal of nuclear weapons. That would place a militant Islamic terror regime weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year.
Let's look at what Iran, or the supreme leader of Iran, says about nuclear weapons. It says, anyone that promotes the idea of nuclear weapons has no place in the republic's politics. And in fact, nuclear weapons have no place in the Middle East. And he even made a religious decree, or a fatwa, in the 90s, which was made public in 2003, forbidding the creation, stockpile, or use of nuclear weapons. Let's look at what it takes to make a nuclear bomb. Refinement of enriched uranium needs to be 90% to make a bomb. What does Iran have? 60%. Now that's what the International Atomic Energy Association says. So they're not close to having that. And in fact, this is what they were enriching in 2012, which we could see in the video of the demonstration by Netanyahu showing how close, weeks away they were from a nuclear bomb in 2012, 13 years ago. They were enriching to 60% then. So, and that's what we see by his video. They're far way away from what they need to enrich the uranium and refine it to make a nuclear bomb. Okay. And what about their key facilities? Natanz and Fordow, which both have been extremely damaged already in the fighting. So their capabilities are even lower now than what it was before. And with reports of leaks inside these facilities, or at least one of the facilities with heavy damage. Not necessarily all caused by direct explosions, but by the lack of power in the centrifuges. There's no credible information showing Iran is making nuclear weapons or will be able to have them in the near future. There is technical and religious constraints on building these weapons. Nothing shows even the intelligent community of the United States that Iran is making or close to making nuclear weapons. I hope the United States is not dragged into another war because lies from some politician that doesn't have the country's best interest in mind. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell me what else you want to see. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you think I'm wrong in the comments below. I'd love to hear your comments on how I'm wrong. And this doesn't go for just this video, but all of my reports. Of course, I'm doing a different format, but this one's a little close to my heart because I was involved with lies by the government bringing us into wars in the past. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know what else you want to see. Remember, I'm a totally independent crowdfunding journalist. You can support my work with the link on the screen and the pinned comments or in the description. Click on that link, donate to my work. And also, make sure you're subscribed to my Substack blog. There's so much more that goes there than to other places, and especially on YouTube. We're in this together. Let's show the world. We're out.